Sports. So hello, and welcome to episode 11 of the Super Bowl Simulation Challenge. My name is Chris, joined by Nick, and today we'll be getting to the end of the season and crucially seeing if we will keep our jobs or not. I am very much on the hot seat, and Nick, depending on which way it goes, this episode could also be in danger, which would very much shake up this entire series, as of course we build these rosters up, and to lose them midway through, kind of sets us back quite a way. So we're gonna jump in and see what happens this episode. So we begin this episode with the Raiders going 1-10-1 with another loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are a decent team, who are now 8-4 and vying for the playoffs. So not unexpected that we lost this game, but still pretty heartbreaking. You can see again in the yard totals we're pretty close, but again we fall short. Looking at the individual player stats, we see that Wentz had a good game. Memes, who of course made his return in the last game of last episode, so he's back and hopefully will be for the rest of the season. Didn't have his best day, to be honest. Rushing wise, you can see that both running backs had pretty big days here. Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs going for big 100-yard plus days. In the receiving game, Will Fuller was our highest yard total for our receivers. Darren Waller, who is currently actually the league leader, or was at least before this game in the league, only gets 44 yards. Joe Barrow has had a difficult rookie season, it would be fair to say as well. He gives up 2 more sacks, and in terms of our sacks, good old reliable Buckner gets his 1, and that's about it, to be honest. Another loss for the Raiders, and at this point I think the ship has sailed with this team, who have pretty much given up on Francis, full of French people.
Unlike the terrible Raiders who had previously lost to this Redskins team, the Cardinals pick up a win this week, and it wasn't easy. These aren't a great team. I think they were 4-7 before this week, but we pick up the win nonetheless. The two quarterbacks drafted from the same class here, Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins. Kyler just pipped him there for QB rating, but he did throw a pick, whereas Haskins did not. Marlon Mack, not a great day for him. At least we're trying to rush with him. McLaurin had a nice day against us, which you'd expect, I suppose, considering I imagine he's pretty good in this series now. He gets a touchdown. Christian Kirk gets a touchdown for us. Robbie Anderson didn't get involved much, but at least he does pick up another touchdown as well. The sacks, not much to note there. No one stands out for giving up too many. Zach Allen again with a sack. Armstead and Crawford all contribute with sacks there. And the pick was Reuben Foster's, but another win for the Cardinals. But after our next game, in a game that may have decided what this team is against a fellow 6-6 team, we don't really put up a performance at all. We got 11 points in the fourth when this game was already out of our hands, and you see here the 4 turnovers and the time of possession being what it is. However, that's only added up to not enough minutes, so I don't know what that's on about. Yeah, just not good enough from the Cardinals, and we'll see why now, as Minshew has a great day against us. Not much you can really say about that, as just Kyler Murray did not have a good day. 3 turnovers there, and Fournette goes off with a big 105 rushing day. Marlon Mack can't really keep up, and the offense just isn't good enough. Andy Isabella led the team with 12 catches today, which is not what I'd expect to see. I'd expect to see that from Christian Kirk more, but he has an average day, just probably all in garbage time anyway. I mean, it's not like the defense is playing terribly. We're getting plenty of sacks. I think it might be Kyler Murray. He might be the issue here, as I'm not sure we can now make the playoffs.
In the words of Vince McMahon, you're fired! As the Raiders lose 34-0 against the Chargers. What I've been saying all this year is we keep losing by these narrow margins. It's always one score. It's always in the fourth quarter. We keep losing these games. This one is a burn the tape game for these Raiders. Holy guacamole. I don't think there's going to be much to shout about at all in any sense of the word. Memes, terrible. Running, terrible. Hunter Renfro, wow, had a good day somehow. The rest of them, terrible. Sacks, only 2 sacks given up, both by Barrow, who continues his struggle. Hey, we got some sacks. Hey, that's something. Hey, Mike Hilton got a pick. This game was 34-0, folks. And, I don't know what to say at this point, other than I'm gone. I'm out on this team. They've quit on me, and I'm quitting on them. You can't fire me. I quit. Coming off an embarrassing loss, the team hears that I want to quit, and they rally to a win. You see at the very top there that we tried our best to give this game to the Chiefs, allowing them to score 21 points to get back in the game towards the end. But the Raiders managed to just do enough to win this game 37-34 in an offensive shootout. You see the yards gained, an incredible amount of yards, so that should mean a good day for memes. Let's take a look. Well, it was a pretty good day for Mahomes, actually, and memes threw for a lot of yards, but just 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, which should mean that we have a lot of rushing touchdowns. Where have these touchdowns come from? With Josh Jacobs only getting 1, but having a decent day on the ground. Keep calm, and Keith has a monster day, 167 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill has a nice day alongside Hunter Renfro for us. Not as much featuring Waller in that one, just 1 sack for either team. And those sacks, oh sorry, one and a half for each team? Oh no, we got 2. Littleton and Crosby and Buckner got 1 as well. In terms of interceptions, just Tyrann Mathieu. Did we score a defensive touchdown? I'm confused at where our touchdowns or all these points came from if memes only threw for 2 and Jacobs only got 1. But anyway, it doesn't matter because we won the game, and that's all that matters. We have now 2 wins and 1 tie with 2 games remaining, so it's possible to go 4-11-1, which I think I would say is probably at that point maybe like a third chance we keep our job at that point.
And the Cardinals in week 15 have the opposite of Chris's result, which you'd usually think, oh, you must have won that. But no, a loss which ends our season. It was never really close. If you look at the box score at the top, we got garbage time points there. But I'm not sure we can actually possibly make the playoffs now at 6-8. It's not looking great. Although I didn't know it. Kyler throws 2 picks again. We get 2 of Jared Goff though. He got sacked 4 times. Gurley had a okay day. We just can't run the ball, it seems. We're not doing enough there. Robbie Anderson with an alright day for himself, with 2 touchdowns there. Christian Kirk's had a really bad season though. Been very much disappointed in him since last year. Aaron Donald with 2 sacks, that's just standard I guess. Michael Brockers gets 1. Crawford and Birdlaws both get 1, and they split 1 there at the bottom. Let's see who got the picks. Byron Murphy, Buda Baker, of course it's those 2. Probably the best defensive players we've got at the moment who are contributing the most. But yeah, disappointing loss, which puts us in jeopardy for our job. And the Cardinals once again lose. And some of these points were gained in the fourth quarter again. And again, we have way more turnovers than the other team. This just isn't what you'd hope for from a team that hopes to be offensive. Watson didn't even play. What? It was CJ Hoskins that beat us. And Kyler Murray's picks, apparently. Who had a good day, apart from he threw for 3 interceptions, which is way worse than what Hoskins did, so maybe I should just play him. Maybe I'm better off with him. Marlon Mack again, not good enough. I feel like I sound like Chris now, just going through who isn't good enough. The receivers were fine. In fact, they were all great. They all had good days for what I'd expect from them. The O-line, oh my goodness. How many sacks were in this game? JJ Watt gets 1.5. Amenahu gets 1.5. Derek Barnett gets 1.5 for us. Van Noy gets 1. Birdlaw's 1. Crawford 1. And Chandler Jones can only get himself half. Who got all the picks? Bernardrick McKinney. So it's a linebacker getting the picks. What's that all about? We're 6-9 now. I will watch the Seahawks game that ends the year. And I'm not sure I'll watch all of it. I'll just see if it's close. Which I don't think it will be, because they are 10-4 now. And have already shored up their playoff spot. We are not going to the playoffs. And I think if we don't win this last game, it's over.
And with this, I think the dreams are over. The Raiders fall again, leaving us with 2 wins and 1 tie still. This time they fall to a very mediocre Bengals team, 22-10, with a poor offensive showing. Memes especially, one of his worst games of his career probably. 169 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. A better day on the ground this time for White and Jacobs. But unfortunately the passing game just wasn't there. Just was non-existent. Which is very unfortunate, and right now it's a sad day, as the Raiders will most likely be getting rid of me. Look at our schedule here. You can see it's pretty dire reading, to be honest. With 1 game left against the Broncos, who are also a terrible team. Maybe there's a 1% chance if we win this game that somehow they decide, you know what? Let's keep this guy around. Hugh Jackson kept his job, so let's keep this guy as well. So the next time I see you, I will be in the game with the Broncos, which could be my last game with the Oakland Raiders. So here we are for the Raiders-Broncos game. The Broncos are now 5-11 after a nice little win streak here towards the end of the season. And our Raiders still sit with 2 wins and 1 tie, as we enter what could be the last game ever for me as the Raiders coach. And Drew Lock under center will start with play action and throw, and it incomplete as he overthrows his target there, making it 2nd and 10. Broncos come out in a bunch formation to the left with Philip Lindsay behind Lock, and Lindsay will take the ball and he will run it for a nice gain of 3 yards, making it 3rd and 7. Raiders with a chance to get off the field nice and early. Let's see what Lock can do. He runs a draw play to Lindsay, who is close to a first down. And Lindsay goes down as well, but it's called 4th and inches, so a good play and a good stop for the Raiders in the end. It looked like he could have got it there had he just gone straight ahead rather than going with that spin move. But Lindsay down as well obviously is a big loss potentially for the Broncos, as here comes Dank Memes out now with his 2 tight ends set and Jacobs alongside him. Memes will take the snap. Good protection. He steps up, he throws, and it's caught. And that is Will Fuller on the catch, who goes for 5 yards. Spread look now for the Raiders. Von Miller off, it seems, in man coverage almost there, as the Broncos bring a blitz, and the screen pass, had that been caught, could have gone for a big gain, but instead it's incomplete from Memes, bringing up a 3rd and 5. Here's the play. Memes will take it and he will throw, and it's caught over the middle, and that's, well, the numbers are a bit hard to see with this uniform choice, but that's Keep Calm and Keith, number 80, on the catch up to the 45-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Here is Memes now. He takes the snap again. He will lay it off, this time to Josh Jacobs for no gain. Good stop by Von Miller there out on Jacobs. Brings up 2nd and 11 from the Broncos 46. It's been quite a positive start for our Raiders this time. And this one's a run play, and it's a... Oh, had potential there for a big run play, but Jacobs ends up with just 5, making it 3rd and 6 though, so now a 3rd and manageable rather than a 3rd and long for Dank Memes to attempt, and he will take the snap from the shotgun. He throws quick, and it's caught by Will Fuller, and I think Will Fuller will be just short. He is. It's 4th and 1, which means we will most likely kick a field goal here from Daniel Carson, and that is good. So a positive start for our Raiders, who take the early lead as Drew Lock throws incomplete and then is sacked by Maurice Hurst. And on 3rd and 14, it's thrown away, so the Raiders will take over again. Great start for our defense. Haven't seen much of that this year, but now a 3rd and 7. Will the drive continue? Yes, it... Oh, no, it won't. I saw 7 yards there and thought we had a chance. And a great pump by AJ Cole brings them back at the 1. And that one's incomplete, but then Royce Freeman gives them a bit of breathing space for 3rd and 7. 6-yard pass. Should be Raiders ball after punt again. It is. And they'll start the 49. Great starting position, but Jacobs is going backwards this time. An 11-yard reception for Fuller, but Dank Memes is sacked, making it a 4th down again, and this one will go back for a touchback. So good starting field position leads to nothing, and now after a holding penalty, the Broncos will get a big gain to Cortland Sutton, bringing up a 1st down as the Broncos begin to run the ball. But another penalty against Jawan James brings up 3rd and long, and a pass to Antonio Brown brings up 4th and 10, meaning that the Raiders will get the ball back. 2nd and 4 as we begin the 2nd quarter, and the Raiders will get a 1st down off a penalty, and they will continue to move the ball. 3rd down now, and it's complete to Waller. And another penalty against the Broncos. They've had a lot of penalties already in this game, as the Raiders now move into the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal. It's a short run by Waller. 3rd and goal, and it is incomplete, which means the Raiders will have to settle again for a field goal. This game feels like, it could have been out of reach at this point had the Raiders just strung together a bit of a better drive there. But as we see a big completion to Antonio Brown from Drew Lock, and this so far has been the Brown show, but a 15-yard penalty against the defense will mean that the Broncos are now in Raider territory. We've seen a lot of incompletions from Lock, and this time he's sacked by Max Crosby, and that one is incomplete as well, but Matt Gay completes a 55-yard field goal, which means the Raiders' lead is cut in half, as we see a big pass to Keep Calm and Keith, and then a follow-up to Darren Waller, and a good start to this drive for the Raiders, as they're already at the 35 of the Broncos, but a sack by Tyler Davison pushes them back. But then a big game to the 3rd tight end, Foster Moreau. Very nice, as Memes now within the red zone. 2 incompletions, 3rd and 10, and he gets 9 instead, which means again the Raiders are settling for the Daniel Carlson show this time. Not great for them, as we see the Broncos come back out, and a 3rd and 8 already. Big play, but it's complete to Willie Snead, and he will move the chains and bring up the 2-minute warning, as now the Broncos move within Raider territory, but they will come to a stop and have to punt it away again. So Raiders take over, and they get a 1st down. Can they score just before the half here? Nice big gain to Will Fuller, gets them within field goal range. That one's incomplete. Then a short run, and that will end the half. And so we will take a look again at this Raider offense. Up 9-3. Pretty positive half overall. Could have been a lot better though had we scored touchdowns rather than field goals. That's really the only problem I've seen so far. No turnovers. It's been pretty good from the Raiders, as Jacobs now with the space on the screen gets 5. Could have been more. We see a pretty clean day there for Memes. 180 yards. No picks, but obviously no touchdowns either yet in this game, with these teams with nothing to play for, as Memes takes the snap. And he looks and he throws left, and it's caught, I believe, up to the 49-yard line of the Broncos. That is Will Fuller, who's been a very good free agent acquisition even in this very down season. Memes now in the pistol. Jacobs behind him, he sends him in motion, and here's the play. Memes with time, good protection, and he pans after Jacobs, and then Jacobs breaks 2 tackles to get up to the 44-yard line. And Memes goes over 200 yards. 2nd and 3 from within Bronco territory. James White alongside Memes. He will take the snap. He fakes it and he will run. We haven't seen too much of this, but of course he can run. And that looks like a face mask as well. It will be on the Broncos. And that means even extra yards for these Raiders, as they will move to within the 21-yard line now. We haven't seen too many runs from Memes, actually. He is a scrambling QB, though, and he does have that ability as Von Miller comes off the edge, but he's well blocked. And is that a catch? What a catch that is by the Raiders. Couldn't quite see who it was. I think it was one of the tight ends, either Keith or Waller. Couldn't quite tell, as this one's just a handoff now on inside the 10. 2nd and goal now for the Raiders. Great play on that catch. Still can't get over that as Memes takes the snap and he will throw. Dangerous throw as the defender just turned his back just in time. Could have maybe been an interception as the Raiders come out in a heavy package this time. We don't see this from them too often. They will pitch it out to Jacobs and he's got room and he's going to score, and the Raiders get the first touchdown of the day in Denver, and this puts them up potentially 16-3. They go for 2 and they get it, so it's 17-3 instead. And now we'll see what this Raiders defense can do, that has played pretty well so far. You see just 104 yards for Denver on the day, so a pretty good game for this defense, as Locke will hand this one off. I think that's Freeman, and he gets a very short gain there of just 2 yards. Here is Locke again with Freeman behind him. And they will run it again up the middle, and again he is stuffed, and this time it's for a loss. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long, and another great start for this Raiders defense. This might be the most complete game we've seen since week 1. Raiders show blitz this time. Locke pump fakes and he throws down the field, and it's intercepted by the Raiders, and they get it back. And it's Nickis Moody, the 2nd round rookie, who is on the interception, and that's going to give the Raiders back the ball at the 38-yard line, with the potential to put this game on ice. Something that we definitely haven't seen all year, as the Raiders march down the field very quickly with a big gain to Foster Moreau. Jacobs, they're at the 3, and James White punches it in, and this is a great end to the season for the Raiders in what could be the last game for Francis full of French people with the Raiders. They've come out and played hard for him today, as we see Buckner get a sack as well on the Broncos, and that means they'll punt again. Can the Raiders pile more misery on their rival Broncos? 1st down again as they move towards midfield. 2nd and 10, a good run by Jacobs makes it 3rd and 4, and it's a completion to Hunter Renfrow that gets them within field goal range, as now we enter the 4th quarter and the Raiders are in the red zone again. Where was this all season? As the Raiders now within the 10, 1st and goal. Good run by Jacobs, they're at the 1. And it's intercepted by Von Miller for 8 yards. Of all the players to come up with a pick, it's Von Miller, who must be nearing the end of his career at this point. But he's still going and still playing well. Can the defense then hold this time? We've seen a lot of bad 4th quarters by the Raiders, of course, but it looks like they will hold, and they even start within the Broncos territory after a penalty again. This Broncos team has had a lot of penalties on them. As the Raiders begin moving the ball, they just need to not do anything stupid like last drive. They get it to the 6, and it's a touchdown for Memes. This one's 31-3. Of all the scores you could have predicted in this one, it would have not been a blowout win for the Raiders, but that's what we've got. As the Broncos begin marching down the field, but one would have to think that it's just too late as we go under 5 minutes. And another penalty against the Broncos. And now a 3rd and 20 after that incompletion, and it's another sack. 4th and 26, they just punt it down to the 1. A very sad punt, and another penalty on the Broncos. This is insane. I've never seen this many penalties in a game of Madden, especially just against one team. As the Raiders begin running down the clock, and there it is. The Oakland Raiders get their biggest win of the season by some margin, Obviously only 3 to go off. But there you go. Massive game here for the Raiders. In every single way. Dank Memes 33 of 44. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So not a great day in terms of scoring, but a decent day for him. Jacobs on the ground as well, a pretty decent day. Renfro goes big alongside Will Fuller. And just a great day for the Broncos in all facets, particularly on defense where they've been so weak all year with Hurst, Crosby, Buckner. Hurst in what could be his last game as a Raider, getting 2 sacks as well, showing why he should be on the team. Of course, Nick Moody got a pick. The rookie from Northwestern, 2nd round pick, gets an interception to end the season for the Raiders, and a great last game for this team.
So here we go. We are into week 17 and we face the NFC West champion Seattle Seahawks in a game that may determine whether or not I keep my job, as we will start with the ball. We are 6-9. I believe 7-9 can help me keep my job. I feel quite secure in that. Much more secure than Chris, thinking he went for 7 wins and only gets 3 and can keep his job, as Kyler loses 2 there on the quick pass to Christian Kirk. Not a great start, and I'm not expecting too much from this game. We may have to sim through it quite quickly because I don't think it will be close, as Kyler is incomplete, looking for Jake Butt there, who is the starting tight end in this game. Could have probably done with improving that position in the offseason. But I doubt that's where our main concerns lie right now, as Kyler completes for a big play. Robbie Anderson down the sideline. Touchdown Cardinals, as we take the early lead in this game. Huge play for this Cardinals offense. That's what I want to see. It was a bit dodgy to be honest, but we'll take them if they're coming our way. And let's just hope we can build on that for more positive play from this offense, because that's where I think our strength should be. And it just hasn't been through this year. Hence why we've only won 6 games. And it's not even been that tough of a schedule. Our division isn't good apart from the Seahawks, but we have struggled in division. But here we go. Seahawks looking to bounce back straight away as Metcalf, he bounces off a tackle and he's running down the sideline, and I don't think they'll catch him, and he scores a touchdown. 73 yards. Wow. There's only been 5 plays in this game, and it's 7-7. That is, yeah, that's crazy. Okay, we'll sim through a bit now, as I was hoping we could build on that, but it seems like we're going to be on level playing field in this game. Robbie Anderson gets another 7 yards there, and another 7 yards to build on his amazing start to this game. -2 yards from the run game again. Very much struggling. Robbie Anderson just keeps catching passes, as that's an interception. And the Seahawks will have the ball again. Let's see what our sim defense can do here, as Tanner Jensen, he must be a young wide receiver in this game, gets the first down. Matt Breida now gets a first down again. They are now in the red zone. I am concerned now after that promising start. Will Disley gets them 1st and goal. Russell throws away and picks up the touchdown to Tyrone Swoops. And this game has completely turned on its head. 21 points already after only 4 drives. Of course, Kyler threw the pick, which is his main problem in this game for me, which is one reason that I'm not so secure in the fact that he is deserving of a starting role on my team, as we kick a field goal. So we bring it within 4 points now. Still only a 1-score game. Let's see if the defense can stop. If we can't end up stopping them in this game, I think I'll just get it through it quickly. I'm not sure what 6 wins would do in terms of job security, as we force a quick punt there and we will drive back. as Anderson again has another first down for us. He's had the only passes up until this point. I think Christian Kirk now gets involved, and I think I'll watch here in the red zone as we have a chance to take the lead. So Kyler comes out. I don't want to see any more picks from you, because it seems like every time I watch he just ends up throwing a pick. So here he had me worried there, but he completes to Robbie Anderson right down to the 2-yard line. They're going to run. Well, he's just got 1,000 receiving yards this year, so a good signing, I'd say. For the last 2 years, he's had 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, as Kenyon Drake can't get anywhere on that run. I do wish that the AI wouldn't do that. As we come out in a goal line formation here, I'm assuming we're going to run. Let's see what we do. Kyler under center. Will hand off to Marlon Mack as he runs over a defender and can only get down to the 1. Tackled short. So now we spread them out in the pistol. It looks like we could have some success here if Kyler gets out quick. He takes the drop back and wide open for a touchdown. That's Hakeem Butler. Nice to see him get involved. He's got some really good stats. It's just we do have some really good receivers on this team. It's hard for him to get involved, but a good touchdown there for him as we take the lead again in this up and down game. This is more of what I expected, but it's just been teams running over our defense and then our offense not doing anything. So I'll watch here as they get up to midfield here. It's 1st and 10. They are in Cardinal territory actually. From the 49. 5 minutes to go in the second as Russell drops back and completes over the middle for 8 yards. Quick slant there. That was a bit too easy for my liking. I'd like to see him actually have to work to complete those slants as we come up, and Russell throws a screen which is incomplete on the quick pass. That's knocked out by Byron Murphy. Big play for him, as I think we're bringing the blitz here, and Russell sees that and on the RPO will throw complete to DK Metcalf on his 2nd reception of the day. The first, of course, was the long touchdown on the Seahawks' 2nd play of the game, as Russell fakes and throws. Almost intercepted. That would have been huge. Ah, that's a shame. Okay. Let's see what we can do now. We forced the mistake there, although that wasn't really forced, as he hands it off and they gain 7 with Matt Breida. So here we go, 3rd down. We're bringing the blitz again. I don't know, I guess Russell has the ability to see that, and we are bringing it. So we bring it and they hand it off anyway. Interesting to see that, as they will probably settle for the field goal here. Although I made the mistake before of thinking they'll settle for a field goal when Mitch Trubisky faked it. But no, they do settle there and tie this game. So now we will see what we can do on this drive, as Marlon Mack gets 26. And I'm inclined to watch again. Screw it. You know? I want to see what went wrong with this team. That was a long 2-minute warning if that's the case. Just a long play. 8 seconds past 2 minutes as Kyler. He was floating back there, but he completes on a late throw, it seemed, there to Robbie Anderson. Again, he's catching everything. 210 yards for Kyler in the first half. 2 touchdowns and a pick. That is more like what I want to see. And Robbie Anderson there, 158 yards already in this game. I doubt he's going to build much on that, because, I don't know, I think we will move away from it, because the game just doesn't take advantage of things like that when a player is playing so well. Let's see if we can get it to Robbie Anderson more, but Kyle is going down for a sack there to the 36. That's 3rd and 16 now. 3rd and 20, sorry. Wow, 2 bad plays in a row for the Cardinals there. Just a minute left, so we take a timeout. Kyle now dropping back to throw. And he just drops it off for the easy completion there, and we will kick the field goal to take the lead. And we do take the lead with 45 seconds left, and the Seahawks will try to drive down here. However, I'm not sure if they ran out of time or kicked the field goal there. But we'll see if the Seahawks get anything going on this drive. If they do, I will watch. No, Wilson's thrown away. 4 yards there, down to their 41, and they complete to DK. He's having himself a nice day. Not as nice as Robbie Anderson, but it hasn't worked out that way for the Seahawks, having to do that as they try to get back in the game, as Wilson completes on the sideline. Nice catch there. Again, DK. Nice play there. As Wilson fakes and lobs it deep. Risky throw there for DK Metcalf again. But that is incomplete, forcing second down. Now at the shotgun again. Let's see what Wilson does. As he drops back. Not much pressure there, but it finally got there as he completes over the middle to DK. If we could hold him to a field goal, I'd be very happy with this, because I feel like the offense has finally got something going. It's just a shame it's so late in the season and against, well, the best team that we'll have to face on our schedule, as the pressure got in Wilson's face and he dumps it off for a loss of 1. That's to Blazingame, who I think has one of the best names in the game. As Wilson hands off now. A short gain there for Matt Breida. Only picking up 2. It's now 3rd and 9 from our 13. Halfway through the 3rd, as Wilson drops back. All day for Wilson, as he scrambles around and has to throw away as he ran into the pressure there. But they will again settle for a field goal. Let's see if they make it. They do. Okay. So the game is tied once again. But I feel like we should have been in these games the whole year. It's a shame that hasn't worked out, as we go 3 and out here and have to punt it away. Not a good punt either. Disappointing there. Kenny Stills picks up 8. And Will Disley gets the first down. So now we're struggling. Breida with 6. But then a sack by Eric Armstead. Love to see that from him. But another 11 yards. DK Metcalf has had an awesome day. Crazy. I hope you had him in your fantasy teams this week. Also, Robbie Anderson, what a starting lineup that would be. But, as speak of the devil, he has a 4-yard rush, and Jake Butt gets 6. So now 3rd and inches, as the penalty on Shaquille Griffin will give us the first. Another 10 to Jake Butt. Forces 2nd and inches. Start of the 4th quarter. Marlon Mack gets 7. And now Christian Kirk picks up 20. Marlon Mack with another 3. Kyler incomplete. I will watch this 3rd and 7. Let's see what we can do. I'm very hopeful that we'd at least tie the game here if Kyler doesn't do something stupid. He's running around. He's got all day. He throws for the end zone, and it's intercepted. It looked like it was open. It always happens. I tell him not to do something stupid. He goes and does it anyway. Unnecessary risks from the young quarterback. And I guess that's just the story of this season. Too many interceptions. But speaking of which, Russell Wilson is picked off by Chidobe Awuzie. Huge play for us to get us back in field goal range again. And now we can kick the field goal to tie the game. So in the 4th quarter we are tied in the game that might end up deciding whether I stick around or not. I'm not sure what the win threshold will be to not get fired this year, but I would love to win this game. The draft position won't be great anyway, as the Seahawks are driving here, so you may as well win. But Armstead gets a 4-yard sack there to force 3rd and 12, and Russell Wilson can only throw away. However, the field goal is good, so they take the lead again. So let's see what we can do on what may end up being the final drive of my whole Cardinal career, as they are showing blitz with the safeties. And they bring it. But Kyler gets rid of it quickly. And that is Marlon Mack on the reception. So let's see if we can keep that up. That's a good first play to start this drive. I really need to see a touchdown here, because I don't want to go to overtime. I don't trust what we'll do. I think we'll end up probably kicking like a 70-yard field goal and missing. As Kyler is incomplete on first down. 2:45 left, so plenty of time. You can still run the ball. Speaking of which, we run the draw. Marlon Mack picks up 7 yards there. I thought he could have had the first down, but oh well. As we come up to the line again, 2:15 left, and we run the draw again. And Marlon Mack has picked up the first down. It's a good start to this drive. We are into Seattle territory. I think that said that he had 1,000 yards this year. I highly doubt that. It's probably more like 600. Not been a great year for Marlon Mack, but he may have started it much better than I remember. It's just recent games haven't gone well. As Kyler sets up the screen and throws it away when I thought he could have easily completed that. So a disappointing play there. As we are now 1 minute 58 left. As Kyler drops back, dumps off over the middle. That's Jake Butt. He gets 5 yards. You see Kyler there with 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's just who he is, I guess. He can't have more touchdowns than picks as he throws, and it's incomplete. This would be a 57-yard field goal, and I am afraid that they may kick it with Aldrick Rosas. But I will watch nonetheless, hoping that we go for it. We will not. And we will try this field goal. I hope they're faking. Unless Rosas has a miracle. He isn't even close. Oh my god. So now we need a stop. And we'll use all 3 timeouts, hopefully get the ball back real quick, as Wilson will run the option and pick up a first down into Cardinal territory, down to the 34. That's the last thing I wanted to see. I believe this game will be over now. It's not been a good one. Well, only the end has not been a good one. It's been a great game, an explosive start, but petered out for the Cardinals in the end. Plenty to be upset with for Mr. Manager, who now must fear, with a 6-10 record, that we have regressed from last year, and that just was not good enough to keep his job, perhaps.
So we're now going to go through the season stats for our players, and I will begin with Dank Memes' season, who clearly did not have a great second year. Of course, Dalton played for a large portion of the year as Memes was injured, but even when Memes did see the field, 8 touchdowns to 13 picks is atrocious by any stretch of the imagination. And so not a good year for Memes there. If we check out the running backs, Jacobs, actually this is pretty good, I think, in an offense like ours to get around 800 yards. James White also averaging, if you're averaging over 4 yards a carry, you're doing something right. Memes also with 141 yards there. Receiving is really where we shined, as we had 3 players go over 1,000 yards. Darren Waller with 1,176. Fuller with 1,133 and Renfro with 1,032. Keith in his rookie year gets 617 and 6 touchdowns, which honestly is probably about as good as you're ever going to get for a rookie tight end. Tight ends especially kind of get neglected in this game a bit unless you put them in the slot like we did with Waller, who obviously benefited big time from that. Offensive line wise, our tackle situation was pretty bad, as Joe Barrow allowed more than a sack a game, and Trent Brown as well allowed 13. And these, I think, are 2 pretty well rated tackles. I think in Madden often they just give up a lot of sacks anyway. In terms of defense, Littleton again had a pretty nice season with 137 tackles. Hilton had 111. That's a lot for a corner. In terms of sacks, Buckner 15.5 sacks, so he had a good year. This is what it seems to be for our team, where we had standout players but just not enough depth, not enough good quality starting. In terms of after him, there really was nothing, and we might need to find an elite edge rusher to help us out, because 4.5 and 2.5 from your edge rushers is just abysmal. terms of picks, we had, we weren't the worst in the league, but we weren't great either. Woods and Moody both getting 2. Not really great either. Fumbles, there was only 1 all year. That was again caused by Woods, who was a pretty good signing in the end. And touchdowns, 0 for our team. Carlson's kicking was a very up and down affair. 21 of 33, just 63%. That's like 1970s numbers. 100 on extra points. Where did he struggle? Well, he missed 2 from 39. And then over 50 really was where he really struggled, just 50% on them. Punting, I was pretty happy with Cole from what I saw. Obviously, punters are what they are. Kick returners, a pretty good average here for Willis, what you're talking about, who also had a touchdown in 1 game. And Blueberry did okay as well in the punt returner. So that was our team. Not the best this year, obviously. In fact, one of the worst. Led by our QBs in terms of 13 picks is pretty ridiculous. How many games did Memes play in the end? He played 9 games for 13 picks. That's pretty bad, it must be said.
As we move on to the Cardinals stats now, you can see Kyler Murray. Chris has described this as regression. I'm inclined to agree with him. In his 3rd year, his 2nd year, he had a pretty decent run with the team, but only really his completion percentage of what really matters has increased. He was sacked more this year, which is worrying as well. Not crazy numbers, but his passer rating is down almost 10 points, which you don't want to see heading from 1 year to another. His rushing yards are also down. So yeah, that's for Kyler. Marlon Mack did have 1,000 yards, so I was down on him unnecessarily, but his 4 fumbles did cost the team in some big spots there. But overall, not a terrible year for him. You'd never say 1,000 yards is bad. Christian Kirk, who just got a big contract, only has 702 yards while starting as our top receiver and slot receiver. I don't want to see that from him. Andy Isabella caught more than him this year. I didn't expect to see that. Robbie Anderson, though, with another really good year for our team. Great signing, I believe. Simon Cowell struggled in his rookie outing, as you just expect that from tackles. Maybe he'll be better next year if I'm here. That is. Can't really say much about the rest. That's the only thing that stands out there. Buda Baker led the team in tackles. In sacks, Chandler Jones potentially justifying a big deal, but I wouldn't keep him around for more than 2 years for the money that he's asking for. Eric Armstead, 9.5 sacks, 14 for loss. It's a good year for him. Bird Laws with 3 tackles for loss, 8 sacks though. I like seeing that. Zach Allen, Crawford. Barnett wasn't really great. Not really what I wanted to see. I expected more from him. Baker though with 4 picks and Awuzie with 3. So Awuzie justifying with only 15 catches allowed. The big free agent signing. Kicking, I expect, was slightly better than Daniel Carlson's. He was not as good on extra points though. Matt Hack had to kick one when Rosas went down. He did miss one. I think it was blocked under 29 yards. That's bad. You never want to see that. Most of his misses are from 50 or more, which is always the case with Madden. It's an unfortunate side effect of just bad AI. The punting was fine for the most part, but I don't know. I wouldn't focus too much on punting as our needs. I think the line was the issue. This year the defense could have been better, but I don't know where I could improve apart from maybe pass rush. But yeah, that's the team recap. Now let's see if we keep our jobs moving into the playoffs.
It will come with no great surprise to anyone that I was fired. Francis, full of French people. And what does that mean? Well, it means that next episode I will be looking for a team. That's how we'll probably start next episode, with me choosing a team. If no team is willing to offer me a job, then I lose, essentially. But I cannot look at my old draft board. I have no memory of it at this point. There weren't too many memorable players, so I'm going into next year with that penalty as well. We don't know if Nick has been fired yet, so he too could be following the same rules. But this means a new pasture for Francis full of French people, with the possibility that we could swap teams perhaps.
What can I say? It's you can see on the screen here, quite plainly here, you were fired. The Cardinals are making a huge mistake, I believe, and we will come back with a vengeance with Mr. Manager. I hope to meet the Cardinals again and destroy them, because that's what they deserve for firing me, the greatest coach in the history of football, soon to be. Give it about 20 years, and this will be a Belichick-Brown situation, where they gave up way too early on this team.
So here are the potential suitors for me and Nick. Now, we haven't had any offers, and obviously they will need to offer for us, but you can see there is quite a few potential openings here. The Broncos, obviously the Cardinals and Raiders, but the Lions, the Rams, the Steelers and Vikings are all options, as well as the Buccaneers. So there's 8 potential landing spots, well 7 for each of us of course. So 7 potential landing spots, including doing a swap of teams. And that will be the first thing that we do next episode. So hope you enjoyed this one. It's going to be a wild ride going into the next off season and seeing what the new teams will be.